Hello all and welcome to today's beer review. This mid-afternoon beer review. It's only 4 o'clock here in Hawaii. And despite it looking extremely bright outside, it's actually a very overcast day. So what am I going to dub this review? I'm going to dub it the migraine review. Those of you who saw the review that I did yesterday, which I have yet to upload, with also at least over a month's worth of uploads I need to do. I'm hoping to get started on that, maybe tomorrow-ish. We'll know that I had a bit of a runny nose, and I guess I thought it was just like the weather or something, but it turns out that today was one of the precursors for a migraine for me, as I suddenly, my sinuses really start acting up for some reason. And I kind of get like I feel a little bit out of it, even before it hits. So it actually hit while I was sleeping. So I woke up at like 4:30 with just a pounding headache, and I was like, what in the world? Because I had just drank only a single beer last night, and a 5.5 ABV beer taken with a meal, generally, and with at least 2 cups of water. In the next 2-3 hours after, usually doesn't cause a hangover. And and then I kind of finally realized it later as it grew in intensity and completely on one side, right behind the eye there, and kind of moving in between the middle of the head and behind the eye, that I was having a migraine. And I was incapacitated for most of the early morning. Got out, tried to do some chores and errands, which I mostly got done. Took me twice as long as usual because I had to go and stop. Came back, ate, had some caffeine, and I still have it going right now, but as you can see, I can talk and handle. It is highly unwise of me to be drinking alcohol right now, but I have, this is the only day, literally, when I can do it, so I am going to do it today. And it kind of influenced the choice that I was going to be buying. I was going to go and review a barrel-aged brown ale, but that would almost certainly kick the migraine back into high gear, so above and beyond where it was before. So I picked something relatively light today, and that is a 5.0 ABV sour from Honolulu Beerworks called Meyer Lemon Sour Ale. Which of course is made with Meyer lemon. Which for some reason has become astoundingly popular as an adjunct in beers lately. I don't know why. Well, I kind of do know why, because Meyer's lemons are delicious. They're kind of like, I believe they're like not a half cross, but a quarter cross in between 75% lemon and 25%, orange. So they're like large, slightly sweeter lemons. And they're absolutely delicious, and they're also on the expensive side. They were one of my grandmother's favorite fruits, by the way. Yeah, I still got a little bit of the sinusing. But as you can see, I can still breathe through my nose, hence I can still smell. So I'm doing a review. And this is probably the longest I've rattled off before a review. It's already 3.5 minutes in, so let's get started. This is, again, Meyer's Lemon Sour from Honolulu Beerworks, 5.0 ABV, and of course, my half growler. I'm going to be using the Pilsner glass. Because why not? Yes, a nice opalescent, light yellow, as it should be for the style. Trying to get it nicely, nice balance of light so you can see it here from the daylight. With a fizzy to fluffy white head that's got some good retention and some nice carbonation. I'm starting to realize that growlers are usually a little bit less carbonated than cans or draft. But this is still pretty nicely carbonated, visually speaking. Fruity. pretty much very redolent of Meyer's lemon, kind of a cross in between an orange and a lemon smell. Not so much rindy, but the actual flesh part of it, the pulp, the juice. That nice twanginess that comes from lactobacilli, not as citric acid as usual. Definitely smells a lot sweeter than most sours. Mild smell of juicy fruit, though not, I wouldn't say that, phenolic juicy fruit, more like the vagueness of a juicy fruit gum. I'm not sure of the malt bill, but definitely almost, it smells a little bit more like a Goza or a Weisse than some, a barley sour. Bit funky in the malt bill as well. No real whetstone smell, not much minerality to the smell. Let's go straight to the tasting. What stands out is a juicy tartness that, explodes in the middle. Not tongue-nukingly sour, but definitely up there. Followed by this intense taste of funkiness. Malt bill funkiness and lactobacilli funkiness in the finish. It is a very sharp, very dramatic transition. One of the most dramatic transitions I've had in a sour. Mouthfeel is a little bit thicker than other sour ales I've had. But still on the refreshing side. Despite the relative sweetness of the nose, there's only a slight sweetness that kind of stays evenly throughout, kind of in the background there under the much bigger flavors going on in your palate. That grainy lactobacilli funkiness really, really lasts. Almost, there's almost no hop presence here. Big funk presence. Meyer's lemon aspects really make itself shown especially in the front and into the mids. It's not definitive, but it is sort of defining that sort of sourness. And what do you guys want? My chickens are outside the door. I'll be outside in this is almost done. I'll be outside in a little bit. And, definitely doesn't define it, but it, it shows up enough that it definitely, belongs in the name. Meyer's lemon aspect is stronger than I've had in the Anchor Meyer's lemon wheat. Probably because this is ridiculously fresh. I went and looked it up, and it looks like it's only, they just released it in beginning of January. So this keg this barrel obviously just came in to the Three Peaks, and it's fresh by date and tastes very fresh as well. Not really something you would go and introduce people for as a sour. It's not. It doesn't nuke your tongue. It's not tongue-scorchingly sour, but at the same time, it is fairly extreme. Not so much in the sourness, but in that funkiness, which actually would probably put people off a little bit more than the sourness would in some respects. Me, I like it. I really like funkiness, which is why I enjoy drinking sours. This is nicely refreshing. And I've kind of run out of things to say about it. Suffice to say, this is nicely, well, I wouldn't say too complex, because not too many flavor nuances going there, but a very interesting drink in, you know, that extremely sharp and dramatic gradation from, you know, that sour kick in the mids, front to mids, and then that all funk finish. Malt and lactobacilli finish, and it's you know, it makes it a very interesting drink to have. So if you have a chance, definitely give this a try. Try to have it fresh too, because I mean Meyer's lemon is really out there in the front, and I kind of think maybe it's a little bit delicate. It's one of those things that doesn't hold too well with long storage. Some adjuncts do. Some do not. I'm starting to think that maybe Meyer's Lemon is one of those ones where it really has to be fresh. And, well, folks, that is your beer review for tonight. Honolulu Beerworks, Meyer's Lemon Sour Ale. Definitely give it a shot. It's fresh, brand new, on tap, seasonal. Cheers. I have like a bag strap here. I'm wondering if I can clink it. Good night, y'all.